and people have just got into a strange culture of wanting the game for the sake of owning the cartridge as kind of the bragging right, rather than wanting to actually play it.
Then you can show them how much better than them you are, although I do not actually need these bragging rights, since I am confident in my own abilities without needing reassurance from sixpence. Well, anyway,
if you already follow me on Twitter, you would be realising that I have been bragging, as I said, so it's literally got to be about bragging rights. I genuinely can't think of any other reason why you would...
cannot find any evidence online whether or not this was for a prize or simply for bragging rights. After all, this is some pretty obscure bragging on social media about all of the apparent Neo Geo products, a necessity for gracious living. Edutainment systems, a necessity for gracious living. Japan exclusives, a necessity for gracious living. Rare consoles that hardly anyone owns, a necessity for gracious living. The Vectrix, a necessity for gracious living.
first time chatter from Cioiolo, I think that's it. Says, what's the necessity for gracious living line from?
Oh, that is from, we found a random 60s news report for the town that I grew up in, which is a very small UK seaside town called Frinton-on-Sea. And there was this ITV reporter going around the town quizzing people about this block of flats which was being built at the time, it's still there, along the seafront. And most of Frinton-on-Sea was constructed in the late 1890s to the early 1920s. And then all of a sudden in the 60s, they constructed these big, disgusting, brutalist blocks of flats. So it was just an entire news special broadcast to the entirety of the UK. But yes, this reporter's going around Frinton, sort of setting the scene.
Talking about how nice it is.
Yeah, talking about how lovely and posh and middle class it is. And then he's going on about, he finds Florets, which is a flower shop, which is still there, and then goes, flowers, a necessity for gracious living. And we watched that and both of us just burst out laughing, and I said, I'm taking that. And that's it. It just literally just came from that. I thought it was so funny to hear that, especially because it was all spoken in Queen's English back then as well.
Yeah, almost satirically posh, so posh that even the Queen doesn't talk with that much cadence. Old school British television is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's